Hey good people, so today I'm back in the kitchen again, and today I am making some apple French toast with Crown Royal apple whiskey. So yeah, it looks really good, doesn't it? I also have some bacon. This is pork bacon. This is not beef bacon or turkey bacon. This is the good stuff. And I'm also going to be cooking some scrambled eggs. A lot of people say, oh, your eggs are so fluffy, so I figured I'll show how I make that. So yeah, we're going to get into the kitchen, and I've actually made this a couple of weeks ago, but I figured that I will upload it on YouTube in case anyone wants to know how I did it. So yeah, so to start off, I am going to get the bacon prep. So what I usually do is get like a cookie sheet, any size cookie sheet, just really depends on how much bacon you're making. So I have this cookie sheet, and I am going to cover it with some aluminum foil. Now the bacon brand that I am using is Right Bacon, and that's like a thick cut bacon. I like the applewood bacon, the applewood flavor bacon, but they also have hickory flavor. And you can do this with any brand, you know, as long as it's like a thick cut. If you have a thin cut of bacon, like the regular size bacon, you know, the regular consistency, when you're baking it, you know, you're just gonna cut down the time. So I'm gonna be baking this at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm gonna be baking it for approximately like 30 minutes. So about 20 minutes into it, I'm gonna check it, flip it over, and finish cooking in the remainder. So over to the apples. I'm talking too long. So to the apples, I have cut up some Granny Smith apples. I think those are the best apples for this particular dish. You can use red apples too, but I like the Granny Smith. I am using my Dess. I think it's Dess, D-E-I-S-S. This brand has been contacting me a few times to send me their product so I can show it online. But this is the pillar that they have, so you can use it for vegetables or fruit, and you can peel using this pillar. And I must say it's pretty sharp, and it was really good. It's also ergonomic, so like I do a lot of typing and I've had carpal tunnel, so using a device like this was really helpful when I was peeling the apple. So normally I would have done this prior to using my apple core, but I just wanted to show you what it's like. So I will be peeling each one of these pieces once I get done. And I'm realizing, you know, I don't want my apples to turn brown, so I'm gonna get a bowl of water and I'm gonna add some lemon juice to it, and that's gonna help keep the apples from turning too brown before I get them all prepped to, you know, finish to be cooked. So the next thing that I'm going to be doing as I get this together is just slicing them up, you know, like some good bite-sized pieces. And I'm going to rinse them off, you know, because I don't want the lemon juice to stay on there. So I'm going to rinse them off and put them in the colander. The next thing I'm going to do is start to prepare my sauce. So to do that, I'm going to be adding like 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to be adding some brown sugar, some cinnamon, and some of that Crown Royal Regal apple whiskey. Now, I do have all of the ingredients in the full recipe on my website, so that you don't have to memorize this. You can just go there again at plussizeofchicago.com and just search for apple French toast, and that will pull up the recipe and you can check out everything from there. So again, this is 4 tablespoons of butter. I have 3/4 cups of brown sugar, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and I'm going to be adding 2 teaspoons of this Crown Royal Regal apple whiskey. Now, some people may be watching this and saying, oh, you know, I want to add a little bit more in there. We're not trying to get drunk. We basically just want to bring out the flavor of those apples even further. It's really going to be like a concentrated apple flavor. The alcohol itself is going to burn off while it's cooking. So now I'm adding those apples to there, and I'm going to stir it up, and I'm going to move it to the back burner because I need to check on that bacon that I have in the oven. And like I said before, you want to cook that bacon for approximately like 20 minutes on one side. You're going to take it out, you're going to flip it over and let it do the remainder of the cooking. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing is getting the batter together for the French toast. Now, some of you who have been on my channels a lot, I don't like cracking eggs on camera, but surprisingly, there was no eggshells inside of the egg mixture, so I was pretty happy about that. But yeah, so you're going to whisk 2 large eggs, and you're going to pour in some milk as well as some heavy whipping cream. Now, again, I'm using this Des or Dias product, and they shipped over these measuring cups. I do have a lot of the products that you may see me cooking with on my Amazon influencer page, so if you just check the video description, you will see a link to my Amazon page. There's no extra cost for you if you click on that link. I basically just get a commission for any clicks that are going to that page. So yeah, you can search any of the products on there. So yeah, so I have added the 1.5 cups of milk, a 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream, and then I'm going to quote unquote season this up a bit with 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, and then of course I'm going to add in even more Crown Royal Regal apple whiskey. So look at this, I only have a little bit of nutmeg left in this container. Now, I recorded this video several weeks ago, so I had to go and buy some more nutmeg because I needed to make some sweet potato pies for Thanksgiving. So this pretty much is the last of the nutmeg in that container. I'm using every little bit that I have. Nutmeg is expensive. So yeah, so we've seasoned up this batter, and again, you know, I'm not using any vanilla extract. It's going to be the Crown Royal Regal apple whiskey that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons. So that flavor is going to be in the French toast. And you know, for the people that you may be making this for that don't want any apple topping on their French toast, they'll have it both ways, either on the French toast or within that apple topping. So I had this cooking in the back burner, and it is done now, and I'm just gonna let that cool off before placing it in a bowl. Now my bacon is done. You know, I let it cook for another 10 minutes and then it's done, and the kitchen is smelling good. I remember how good it was smelling, but I want you guys to see that. So now we're going to start the French toast. I always add olive oil with butter just to help keep the butter from burning, and I'm using the Petrus Farm brown sugar cinnamon swirl bread. It is a thick slice, so if you're making French toast, you want to use a thick sliced bread. Some choices that you can use, like I have in the past, is like some brioche bread. You can try some challah bread, some Texas toast. Even like if you like cinnamon raisin bread, you can add that too. Maybe some sourdough bread, or even like if you got like a French baguette, you can slice that up and you can use that for your French toast too. So what I'm doing is just dipping that bread in there just for a few seconds, adding it to the pan. I let it cook for maybe 3 to 4 minutes, flip it over and let it cook for another 3 to 4 minutes. Basically, you just want to make sure that it's brown so that that custard is completely cooked within the slices of the bread. So yeah, so look, the apple topping has cooled off and I'm adding it to my nice little white bowl. I'm gonna set that to the side. So yeah, it looks good, smells good. So I'm taking out this French toast, and I'm gonna do this like 2 or 3 more times because it's a big package of bread. I like to have leftovers so I ain't gotta cook the next day. I am sprinkling it with some powdered sugar, and that's pretty much it for that. So the next thing I'm going to do is make my scrambled eggs. So I usually add just a little bit of milk to my eggs. Now, I am lactose intolerant, so a lot of times you may see me put some milk in whatever I'm cooking. It's going to be 2%. And that's just more healthier for my belly and my tummy, so I'm not sick. So I'm adding that milk in there. Again, I'm adding some olive oil to the pan. I usually don't add butter when I'm cooking eggs, but you know, if you want to do that, you can. I usually just use olive oil. And so I'm going to add those eggs into the pan. I have this on like a medium heat, and I'm adding some cheddar cheese to that. Some people, when they see me cooking eggs online, they're like, how come you don't season your eggs? Well, I don't know how my husband wants his eggs seasoned. So I let him season his own eggs. And when my kids were living at home with me, I let them season their own eggs. I love seasoning salt on top of my eggs. So when I make my eggs, I'm flavoring it with seasoning salt. But everybody else may not want the seasoning salt. So I let them do what they want to do. So that's the reason why you're not seeing me season the eggs when I'm cooking them. So I'm using this spatula. This spatula is like, you can use it for eggs or fish. It just makes flipping it easier. You can use a regular spatula too, but what you want to do is just, when you're scrambling the eggs, you want to fold it at the same time. So I'm flipping it, folding it as I'm cooking it, and I'm not stirring it super fast. I'm letting it, let it get heated up, and then I'm stirring, flipping, folding. So that's the method that I use when I'm making my scrambled eggs. I like to have mine as medium. My mom hates that. When my dad was alive, he would always want his eggs to be scrambled like this. And my mom's not an egg fan. And she's like, oh, it looks so gross. But what I like to do is scramble it to this point, and then I turn off the heat and let the stove finish it up. So it's not too hard. They're still nice and fluffy. So yeah, so that's how I make my eggs. I hope you all liked what I cooked in the kitchen. I'm not gonna say cooked in the kitchen today because I actually made this several weeks ago, but I hope you all liked what I cooked in the kitchen. This is my apple French toast with crown roll, apple whiskey. I also have my fluffy eggs and my bacon. And as you know, everything that you're seeing here, at least for the French toast, you can find that recipe on my website at plussizeinchicago.com. So friends, if you're watching this on YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram, shout out to everyone who has subscribed to my channel, or maybe you're following me on one of those social media platforms. Thank you so much for coming back and cooking with me again. If you are new here, my name is Angela, and this is my account Plus Size in Chicago, where I make a lot of easy to cook comfort food meals. You'll also see me reviewing different restaurants in the greater Chicagoland area, or maybe showing you some places I ate while on vacation. Be sure to subscribe or follow me. Also leave a comment and share this video with your friends and family. I'll see you guys next time.